Hi friends! So recently I've had a lot of people asking me about how I make my tea because I use fresh leaves rather than dried leaves. So I thought today I would take you guys with me while I make my morning tea. We got Bailey here to help. So let's get to it. I've got my pot of water. This is probably going to make maybe 2 cups. Some of the water is going to evaporate as I brew it. But anyways, we're going to put it on low. When I come back, I'm going to actually put it up to high, but because I'm going to be picking herbs for a little while, we're going to leave it on low for right now so the water doesn't disappear while I'm picking the herbs. Now I've got my strainer here to collect all my herbs, and we're going to go ahead and start with mint. We're going to grab it from a few different plants so that way we aren't taking too much from one individual plant. Here we are at the pond. I'm going to grab some of this mint. We try to pick the new growth off to stimulate more new growth to keep these guys going. And as you go, any like leaves that need to come off that are brown, just give the plant some extra love, but I usually won't tea these ones. Just a little small handful from the pond mint. We're going to move on to the next plant now. So to the next pot we go. This one is doing really well too, so we're going to grab some more mint from this pot. I'm done collecting the mint. This is probably even more than I need, but I really like the way that the mint tastes and balances the flavors of the other herbs that I pick, so I generally go a little heavier with mint. Now I'm going to be picking some redwood pine needles from this beautiful redwood tree. This also adds like a very fresh taste to the tea. Kind of want to say like Nate likes to describe it as evergreen, where it's not minty but it's very cleansing, and I really enjoy how it tastes. Got our pine needles. Now we're gonna move on, and I'm gonna grab some orange leaves from our blood orange tree. So here we are at the blood orange tree. You can see we got lots of fruits coming in, so I'm going to do my best not to disturb any of these fruits while I'm picking the leaves. These leaves are mostly for flavor. They do have some medicinal value, and they can be high in certain vitamins, but they really just add like a very sweet citrusy taste. If you're using more bitter herbs when you're making tea, these are a really good way to balance the flavor out, although the herbs I'm using today are not super bitter, so this is still gonna taste amazing, but is less necessary. I've got my orange tree leaves. You can see I'm just trying to kind of keep them all balanced, get roughly the same amount of everything so that the flavors are balanced, which, you know, you can always choose what flavors you like the most. So now we're gonna head over to the avocado tree. Avocado is really good for respiratory health and lots of other things, but mainly for me, because I smoke a lot of weed, it's important to counterbalance that and make sure I'm building up my lung and respiratory health. So we're gonna grab some avocado leaves and make sure to get that in the tea. These kind of have a neutral, bland flavor. They're not like bitter or anything, but the flavor's not like amazing. You can see some babies coming in. I'm only going to use a few because they're pretty big. There we go. Normally I might add some roasted dandelion root or blackberry leaves, but we've trimmed our blackberry plant recently, so I'm gonna leave it alone. And I personally don't really like the way dandelion tastes in tea if the root isn't roasted. So since I don't have any pre-roasted at the moment, I'm gonna skip that, even though it is highly medicinal and I probably should be drinking it today. So let's go inside. We're gonna wash these off and get them in the pot. I'm gonna go ahead and give these a good wash, since sometimes you may find like bugs or spider webs hiding in your herbs, which is not the end of the world, but it's kind of gross to me. So I'm gonna go, actually before I do that, I'm gonna go back and put the pot up to high, since we're here to monitor it now. And basically I'm going to rinse these, and then once the pot hits boiling, I'm gonna put them in the pot and then turn it down low. So Bailey and I are waiting here patiently for the water to boil, and it is just starting to boil, so it doesn't need to be fully bubbling. We're gonna go ahead and throw the herbs in. Make sure I grab them all. And now I'm gonna go ahead, don't burn your fingers, but make sure they're all in the water. And I'm gonna put it back to low. And I'm gonna let this sit for like probably 30 minutes. I usually just kind of come and check the color of the water to see if the water has gone from clear to kind of like a yellowy brown. Depending on what herbs you use, the water color will be different. You don't want to cook your tea, so you don't want to lose all of the nutrients, but you want to let it sit for long enough, especially since it's on low, to really, you know, get the flavor and all of the nutrients into your water. This is a method that we've kind of cultivated together from herb books and research we've done. I think really the most helpful to us was when we were learning how to make THC infused teas, and so this method was really cultivated from that. So yeah, so I'm gonna come back once it's ready to pour. I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so it's been actually about an hour now, I want to say, since I put my herbs in, and I know the quality isn't great on my camera, but if you can see, the color of the water is clearly not clear. It's kind of like a dark yellow. So we're gonna go ahead and strain this out to let it cool and drink. So I'm just gonna be using a regular like fine mesh strainer. This is probably just gonna be about a third of the tea that I made. I'm spilling a little bit. Alright, so I still have a good amount of tea left that I can drink throughout the day today, or save some for tomorrow. I'm going to show you guys what this looks like outside because the color is not really showing up in here. There we go. That's how you, or how we make tea using fresh herbs and plants from the garden. I'm going to go and enjoy this now.